Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi there.
We're looking at the trailer to Cheat India. This star is Emraan Hashmi. It's written and directed by Soumik Sen and releases January 25th. It's just over a month away. Happy New Year. So thank you Rashi Mudalkar for doing the subtitles. Always appreciate it. You are beautiful and wonderful and helpful. Thank you.
आज देश के हर एक इंसान का बस एक ही सपना है, इंजीनियरिंग या मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स का टप्पा। ये सपने देखते हैं माँ बाप और पूरा करते हैं बच्चे।
क्या रैंक लाया?
भैया 287। बस भैया मैं कुछ बन जाऊँ।
अगर इंजीनियरिंग के सीट के लिए कोई ऐसे बच्चों का एंट्रेंस एग्जाम उनकी जगह बैठ के दे देता है, सेट है ना मामला?
ये कैसे?
अकलमंद तो तुम हो, नकलमंद बन सकते हो कि नहीं?
Oh shit.
ऊपर वाला दुआ कबूल करता है, मैं सिर्फ कैश लेता हूँ। इतना पछड़ा में क्यों पढ़ना है? हम अपने में खुश हैं, आप इंजीनियर के डैडी के लाके खुश रहिए। अरे हम दे रहे हैं आपको सीट की गारंटी।
सर अगर आप गारंटी दे रहे हैं तो 10 क्या 15 लाख देने के लिए क्या करूं?
बैंकिंग का एग्जाम अगले महीने।
मिलेगा कितना सर?
वाह मेरे शेर, एकदम बुलेट की तरह टू द पॉइंट।
आपने तो बोला था ना हम नहीं पकड़े जाएंगे।
आपने हजारों डिजर्विंग कैंडिडेट्स की जिंदगी बर्बाद कर दी।
मैंने किसी की जिंदगी खराब नहीं की, और अगर मैंने कुछ अमीर बच्चों से पैसे बनाए हैं और कुछ जरूरतमंद ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट्स की जेबें भरी हैं, तो कुछ गलत नहीं किया है। पैसे के आगे शुरू होता है असली खेल, पावर का। मेहनत अच्छे सैलरी टोक करते हैं, बड़े लोग स्कैम करते हैं।
हाँ.
मैं पेपर लीक नहीं करवाता। बैड फॉर बिजनेस, बैड फॉर द नेशन। मुझे हीरो बनने की कोई इच्छा नहीं, विलन बनने का बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं है। खिलाड़ी हूँ, खेल रहा हूँ। नमस्ते।
Okay, wait. I need some explanation here. Okay, so is he an anti-hero?
I think so.
His initial objective is something bad, where he's actually genuinely helping people cheat.
From what I understand, it looks like he is enlisting poor children who are smart to cheat on these tests for rich kids who have money. He's giving the poor kids an opportunity to make money, but it's almost like he's growing a mafia, or like he's becoming some
A
sort
network.
of don.
Yeah.
But instead of the way that we're used to, I mean, it is a criminal activity, but we're used to like drugs or, you know, murder and
Right.
extortion and stuff. He's just literally cheating the system.
Well, at one point he's on the stand, and I
Yeah, he
thought
gets caught.
He gets caught. So I thought that maybe he was flipped, like Catch Me If You Can, where Leonardo DiCaprio then becomes an FBI informant and then works for the FBI. I thought something like that was happening.
I don't know. We'd have to watch the movie to find out.
Right. It just seemed like that was a possible outcome here, where he ends up using his powers on the side of the law. Well, based on what you're saying, everything you're saying is totally accurate, you can easily see the appeal on all sides. The poor people having that opportunity to make money. Good money at that, because if they can keep doing this, like, and then the wealthy people benefit because they get the answers they need. I mean, George W. Bush, he was like a C student, supposedly. He was just really good at networking people, and he would like trade information in order to boost himself up. He had a good support team.
Right, I mean, but there's a difference between having a support team and having someone actually cheat for you, turn up to the exam with your identification details and write it for you just so you get a seat at a university that you don't deserve because you didn't do the work.
It would not surprise me if there were some
Strings pulled?
Strings pulled, some
I
sketchy
mean-
tactics played by George W. Bush in order to get to his...
But that's the thing, right? Because that's what Emraan Hashmi's character said. He's like, you know, everyone wants money, and a lot of people are working hard to get that money, but what do rich people do? They scam for the money. They cheat the system. They know how to work the system. He's just being smart.
Well, they're not just working the system. It's tricky, because like the famous saying is, you know, the rules are made by the rich for the rich. Laws are made by the rich for the rich. The rich know all the loopholes in order to trick the system in their favor. They're technically doing everything legal, even though it's not moral.
It's shady.
It's very shady.
Yeah.
That's where I got a little confused, is like, I don't know if he's scamming the rich people at the same time, because this kid was like, you said we weren't gonna get caught.
I mean, the kid's naive, right? he's handpicking these students who are deserving of more, who are really smart, who are talented. He's giving them an opportunity, and they probably never had that much money. I mean, look what he does with it. He ends up like paying for prostitutes and room service and hotel rooms and stuff like that. When you suddenly have that much money, you're like, what? It seems like fun and games at first, and then you get caught.
Let's talk about that for a second. If you suddenly come into the possession of a lot of money that you didn't expect, don't let the first thing you do is spend it. Don't ever just spend it. The first thing you do is you act like Ross from Friends. You put it into savings, like put it away, don't touch it. You gotta behave as if you don't have it still.
Right.
And just peel off a piece every now and then and save the majority of it for a rainy day. Because when you're young and you come into a lot of money that you didn't have before, the first thing you want to do is go and spend money on like stuff.
Strippers, drugs.
No, I mean not even
girls,
that, but like just
dinner,
like you end up
clothes.
the thing you forget is that it's not necessarily infinite. You get into this habit that it is just going to keep coming forever and ever. Like you forget that there's limitation there.
Right, and especially when it's something like this where you're like, oh, I just have to write an exam paper and I'm being paid a gobload of money.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and you're young and you're naive and you don't know. No one's told you like, hey, you gotta be careful. Hey, maybe you wanna save it or invest it or something, you know?
Yeah.
He's taking advantage of everyone.
Yeah, Emraan Hashmi is doing a great job with this role here. I'm really curious to see where his character ends up in the latter half of the film. He has no shame, is what I'm trying to say, in anything he's doing. He has no shame about him whatsoever, and I'm wondering if it just stays like that the entire film. Like, Thank You for Smoking, for instance. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't.
Thank You for Smoking is a film about a guy who works for the smoking company, and he fights for the smoking company. At the end of the, spoiler alert, at the end of the film, he still stays with the smoking company fighting for it. Like, he almost dies because anti-smokers come after him, and he's like, fuck it, and he still fights for them at the end of the movie. So it's like the very unexpected ending. That's always the thing that I'm curious about, like how they're gonna play with that. That final act is always the most interesting part with characters like this who are very underhanded.
And what's interesting as well about these sorts of characters, they have a firm belief. They have a firm belief that they are right, that they are justified.
I believe that is a good thing to believe. No, I agree with you. That's what makes a good villain, is that they firmly believe that they are the hero in their story.
Exactly. Like you said in the beginning, is he a hero or is he an anti-hero? Like, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like a Robin Hood character.
Well, the fact that he's on the stand, and I didn't get the Robin Hood thing initially, but I guess that makes sense. The fact that he's on the stand and he's defending himself the way he is indicates that he really does see what he's doing as a positive. He doesn't see the wrong in what he's doing.
I still feel that, you know, if you're cheating in order to get into university, then you don't deserve to be there. Do you know what I mean? But I understand that it's really, really hard. It's really hard to get into these places that have these hardcore entrance exams.
I get very confused by all that stuff. It seems like the people who follow the rules of don't cheat are the
ones who get punished?
Are the middle and lower class, often.
That's true. That is true, and that's exactly what he said. You know, it's the rich people that scam. So maybe we all need to learn how to cheat the system a little bit to get by. Is this the moral of the movie?
This seems like the wrong moral to be expressing in this video. I'm just philosophically kind of exploring the idea that it seems like the rich are often breaking the rules in their favor, and the middle and lower class are always being taught to follow the rules, and they get punished harshly when they don't.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
it's oppression.
You know, Wall Street breaks the rules and the government bails them out. I don't know if you guys are aware, but we had a crazy $100 billion or something bailout when Wall Street screwed up, and when the banks screwed up, it's I don't know the exact number at all. $700 billion.
Yeah.
That was in 2008. So that was when our economy was really, you know. All I'm trying to say is it seems like the wealthy get to make these kinds of mistakes, and no one goes to prison. None of these people on Wall Street go to prison. But yet, you know, if you got a regular kid, really regular kid who needs pencils for his homework, and he goes to Target and he steals the pencils and he gets caught, he goes to jail. Make sense of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, that's just a weird.
I mean, that's a pretty.
I understand that the example I just constructed was theoretical and fiction, right?
Right.
But you can see the real world application of that example.
Right, yeah, because you don't have the money to bail yourself out. Or
Right.
no one cares enough to do that.
So all this to come back around to this, like I get where the character's coming from if I understand him the way I think I do.
Right.
Like I get where he's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it because it's not something I would do, but I get it. Like there are some things where I let the rules slide a little bit. Like if I didn't know, like I remember, this is stupid. I probably brought this up before, but like I remember I was shopping with a girlfriend at Target, and we had the water that we bought, the water bottles.
Oh yeah, you
And
told the story before.
I put it under at the bottom of the shopping cart, and I completely forgot about it.
Right.
And we're checking out, and my ex-girlfriend goes, "No, you forgot to charge us for the water bottles." And I'm like, "Are you the one paying for this?" Like I forgot about that. That was a sin I would have been comfortable with because I forgot.
Yeah, totally. I've been guilty of things like that too.
It's not guilt. There's nothing to be guilty about. It's like you found something. If you happen upon something, it's fine. It's like, but if you deliberately do something, like when I was a kid, my mom would make me eat Lunchables for dinner sometimes, and I didn't like the cheese that came with it. It was terrible. But I knew my dad's rule was if food fell on the floor, you weren't supposed to eat it. So I would
okay.
oops, the cheese fell on the floor. Like I was not breaking the law because the cheese fell on the floor, so I couldn't eat it anymore. So I just toss it. That's what the huge, rich, wealthy companies are basically like oopsing it, increasing their wealth profile while the middle and lower class are suffering. And so here's a guy who's just trying to serve it back to the system and manipulate it.
But also become very rich and powerful in the process.
Why not?
Like, I don't
Why
feel
not?
like he's altruistic. Though.
Why not? Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? He's taking the risk. He's I'm not. What do you call
Condoning.
it? I'm not condoning this behavior at all. Just objectively, though, like he's willing to take the risk and potentially be served the punishment if he gets caught. He knows what's at stake. He knows what's involved. He's not stupid. Here's a guy who's willing to serve it back to the man and take advantage of the system for other people's gain and his own. Like, why shouldn't he gain? Why shouldn't
I mean,
he
that's
gain?
just capitalism, isn't it? I'm just saying that it's not altruistic. Like, yeah, he
It can
may
be both.
He
It
may
can be
be
both.
helping these
It can be both.
underprivileged students, but
Every single nonprofit organization in this country
True.
makes money.
True.
It can be both. You gotta
Yeah.
pay your bills and eat your bread. I mean, what is it?
I mean, you got to pay your bills
you-
and drive a Tesla, right?
No. You buy the cheap station wagon just like in Breaking Bad so no one notices. You continue driving the shit car so nobody notices. That's the thing is a lot of people don't realize you just gotta keep it simple.
Scamming 101 by Jaby KOAY.
All this information I'm saying I learned from movies. I'm just like in Drishium. Like I just learned it from the movies. Like you just keep it simple.
Misdirect, yeah.
Because like in Goodfellas, for instance, like when they did this huge score, the biggest score, like I forget exactly what the score was. A lot of the mafia goons started buying shit, and
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's like, no, like
Don't do
you're
that.
drawing attention to us. Don't do that. Like keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
Return that coat. Return that car. Hopefully this was informative for you guys.
Yeah.
Or entertaining at the very least. Obviously, I don't exactly know how to feel about the character because we don't have all the information yet without watching the film, which I do intend to do. But from what I'm gathering so far, it's a very interesting character, and the fact that he's proud of what he's doing without shame makes him even more interesting.
And I think that's the thing is like, I'm curious enough about this character that I want to see the movie because I'm like, I don't know an awful lot about him, so maybe the movie will shed some light and hopefully it'll be an interesting journey as well.